Today's story is called The Unworn Sandals. It is a story about something I very often hear in my coaching conversations. As a person, I've experienced that too. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll speak when I feel confident. I'll apply when my resume is perfect. I post when I know exactly what to say. I'll ask when I feel prepared. I'll begin when the fear goes away. But what if readiness is not something we wait for? What if readiness is something we build by taking the first step? Let's begin. The Unworn Sandals. There was once a young traveler who lived in a small village near the mountains. Every day he watched people walk in and out of the mountains. Some were traders, some were pilgrims, some were workers going to the next town. And sometimes he would return from the mountain road and speak as to what was on the other side of the mountain. Some would say there's a large market, an old temple, a river path, new people, new possibilities. And this young villager would listen very quietly. And every time he listened, something inside him would say, one day I will go too. He was not lazy, he was not careless, he genuinely wanted to go. But every time he thought about starting, another thought would come in. I'm not ready yet. What if the road is too difficult? What if I get tired halfway? What if others are better planned than me? So he kept waiting. And we all know what happens. We think about something again and again. We imagine doing it, we talk about it, we prepare for it, we delay it. And then one day something inside us says, enough. I really wanted to do this now. That day had finally arrived for the young villager. So, on the so called auspicious day, welcome everyone to another episode of Career Zen Stories. This is a space where we blend real corporate challenges with Zen inspired stories, simple stories that make us pause, reflect, and look at our careers a little differently. And because many times the struggles we often face at work are not just about skills, resumes, interviews, promotions, or job challenges, there are also about the conversations we avoid, the visibility we delay, the courage we postpone, and the first steps we keep waiting to take. He says, okay, I'm not ready yet, but what do I need to get started on the journey? And then he steps out of the house and goes to the market. So, after looking for a while, he then decided that what he needed most were a strong pair of sandals. So, he went to the shop that sold the sandals. And then he told the shopkeeper, this is what I need, and this is, and the shopkeeper showed him a fantastic pair of sandals. He bought them. They were simple but well made. The straps were firm, the soles were thick, and that was what he really liked. And it got him connected more when the shopkeeper said, these are good for the mountain road, they will last long. So the young villager felt very happy. He carried them home carefully and placed them near the door. That night, he looked at the sandals and thought, hmm, tomorrow I will begin my journey. But the next morning, he did not leave. He picked up the sandals, he cleaned them, he checked the straps, he tried them on. They felt a little stiff. So he told himself, I should wait until they feel more comfortable. The next day, he tried them again. He walked a few more steps near the house. Then he stopped. Hmm, they still don't feel right, he thought. What if they hurt my feet on the road? So he removed them and kept them aside. Days passed like this. Every morning he would check on the sandals, he would adjust them, he would take a few steps, he would clean them, he would imagine the journey, and sometimes he would even tell people, I'm planning to leave soon. But he never actually left. The sandals stayed near the door, clean, new, unused. No dust on them, no marks, no signs that they have ever been touched by the road. One afternoon, an old monk was walking through the village. He saw this young villager sitting out of his house, holding the sandals in his hands. The monk stopped and asked, are these new sandals? They appear very new. Have you not used them? And the proud villager smiled and said, yes, I bought them for the mountain journey. The monk looked at the mountain path. Then he looked back at the sandals. He said, they look right for the path. When are you leaving? He asked. The traveler paused. Soon, he said. I'm just waiting for them to feel comfortable. The monk smiled gently. Then he asked, why are your sandals still new? The villager looked down. For a moment, he had no answer. The monk sat beside him and said, sandals do not become comfortable by staying beside the door. The villager looked at him and the monk continued, they become comfortable only after they touch the road. The young villager looked at the sandals again, and for the first time he understood. He has been waiting for something that could only happen after he started. The sandals would not soften while sitting untouched. They would not shape themselves to the feet while being protected. They would not become ready for the mountain by staying away from the mountain. They had to meet the road. They had to touch the dust. They had to carry his weight. Only then would they become comfortable. This was the light bulb moment. The next morning, our young villager woke up before sunrise. He looked at the sandals near the door. They still felt stiff. He still felt nervous. He still did not feel fully ready. But this time, he did not sit down to clean them again. He wore them. He tried the straps. He looked at the door for a few moments. Then he took one step. The first step felt awkward. The second step felt uncomfortable. The third step still felt uncertain. But you know what? He just kept walking. So by the time he reached the edge of the village, there was dust on the soles. By the time he reached the first turn in the road, the straps had started to settle. By the time the sun rose over the mountain, his feet had slowly found their rhythm. The sandals were not perfect, the road was not easy, and the traveler was still learning. But he was no longer waiting at the door. He was finally on the road. This is what exactly happens in our lives and careers. Many talented professionals keep waiting for their own version of comfortable sandals. They wait to feel confident before speaking in a meeting. They wait to feel fully prepared before applying for a role. They wait to feel like an expert before sharing their thoughts online. They wait to feel completely clear before making a decision. They wait to feel fearless before asking for an opportunity. But confidence does not become comfortable in your head. It becomes comfortable through use. Your voice becomes stronger after you use it. Your resume improves after you start applying and learning from responses. Your LinkedIn presence improves after you start showing up. Your leadership becomes stronger after you take responsibility in real life situations. Your courage grows after you take those small, uncomfortable steps. Starting before you feel ready does not mean you're careless. It means understanding that preparation has a limit. After a point, more preparation becomes a delay. More planning becomes avoidance. More waiting becomes fear dressed up as "I'm just not ready yet." So ask yourself today, where am I still waiting to feel ready before taking the first step? What are my unworn sandals? Is it a conversation, a post, a job application, a decision, a request, a new beginning? Take one small step today. Wear the sandals, touch the road, let movement make you ready. And after listening to the story, share in comments what message did this story leave with you? What did it remind you? What did it remind you of in your own life and career? This is Career Zen Stories, short stories, deep career shifts. Thank you for listening. And I would really want you to share in comments what are those situations you're facing in your life. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.